play it well and you plan your attacks ahead, and you know that when your opponent comes into attack you're going to TP straight to a different base rather than back to your own base or something. And Siege Engine's 1-0 upgraded and coming straight in for to attack this Tree of Life, and immediately Nicker bringing out all his Swifts even off gold just to try and repair it. But I'm not sure it's going to be enough. There are 5 Siege Engines here, although only 3 can attack by the looks of things. And but Nicker is preoccupied with fighting off the heroes here, and Nicker is forced to raise up the Tree of Life, and the Mountain King does go immediately to the focus of Cass. But this uprooted tree obviously is so much harder to kill. For a start, you can put it in some trees, and you can repair with those trees. You can make it harder for the Siege Engines to attack, and you have a different armor type, which makes it the Siege Engines a lot less effective. And level 5 now on this Mountain King, and it is taking a fair bit of damage. But there are staffs aplenty now for Cass, I think, so he should be okay. And looks like this Tree of Life did actually go down, so that's pretty nice for Cass, because obviously this expansion was pretty important, especially considering now this one's run out. But I guess he can just get this Nature's Blessing and then just try and run this as Tree of Eternity back to this base. It is a bit of a trek, but it probably is worthwhile rather than trying to rebuild, especially once you have fast movement speed. It's not too hard to do, and a lot of really low Siege Engines here. He should really try and Nicker should really try and kill these before Cass can staff them out or anything. And Archmage now using a mass teleport just to get out. He didn't manage to get any of his Siege Engines within range of the mass teleport. Mass teleport has a shorter range than TP, and lots of people forget that, and you see lots of TP mistakes made with mass teleport. But I think it was just that Cass physically couldn't get them close enough. And cannon towers now going up for Nicker. 4 cannon towers, 2 guard towers. Cannon towers obviously are amazing against Siege Engines, but you so rarely see them. They just take so long to build. And meanwhile, Cass now TPing back to his own base and continuing to produce Siege Engines, which are still 1-0 upgraded. I'm surprised he hasn't gone for more upgrades, so maybe he's now. Yeah, he's getting a 2-0 upgrades, and obviously the armor upgrades are actually pretty good, pretty useful as well. And Cass is sort of continuing to build towers in his base because he knows that you can't really fight head on, and so Nicker's going to be trying to force fights whenever possible. And Nicker immediately trying to cancel these towers, stealing another peasant now, and it looks like he's going to be putting up his own tower again. I wonder if it's going to work better than last time. Cass is a bit on the run here, and so he does have to staff out, and doesn't manage to actually get there and sort of mass TP out, and so he does lose his level 6 Archmage, and that's really bad for him. Obviously he must have a whole lot of gold. Yeah, he has almost 2,000 gold, so he can buy it back. And Mountain King is back, and he could get a bolt here off, but he doesn't manage to in the end. And one tower actually going up now for Nicker, and I wonder what he's going to do with it. He builds a guard tower with it. Oh no, he cancelled it, builds a cannon tower. That's more fun. He's putting up a second tower as well, but surely this is within the range of no, I think this is within the range of the guard tower, so I think he that might not go too well. And meanwhile, this level 1 Mountain King, obviously he's going to lose all his mana, which is a bit of a shame, because mana is so important on a Mountain King, and with a level 1 one, it's not going to come back very soon, and almost level 9 now in the Dark Ranger, and that's sort of silly levels. It doesn't even sort of really matter at this point, because there's not a huge level difference. And yeah, this one tower will just get killed by the other towers, and so Nicker is forced to cancel it. But this one cannon tower could go up, and obviously cannon towers do so much damage to buildings like town halls. It's really worthwhile going for. But meanwhile, another Siege Engine is back, and a couple of dots now out for Nicker as well. Dots are obviously really amazing against Siege Engines. You might not think of it, in small numbers they actually work quite well, just because you can get cast Fairy Fire on them, and Fairy Fire is just so effective in terms of reducing their armor, which is really the one thing that Siege Engines have that are that's sort of really powerful. And this one tower will finally get killed now, and this one cannon tower will go up though, and it looks like it will be focused down by the towers. But since it came up and it does have a fortified armor, unlike all the other human towers, it might actually manage to stay up, although these 2 heroes aren't coming up, and so it's just going to be to see how much damage the cannon tower can do before it's taken down. And it has actually managed to do a fair bit of damage to this town hall. It hasn't reached parity yet, obviously, but it did a fair bit of damage, and you can imagine that's going to be very useful in the future, because Cass doesn't have any peons, or only has one peasant to repair at the moment. He's got to wait a bit before he can get it back to full health. And 3 more Siege Engines coming in now. They are 2-0 upgraded, and towers going up here for Nicker. I imagine he's going to go for cannon towers again, really, because cannon towers have proven so effective And a bunch of towers going up here against, obviously in anticipation of pressing on this expansion later. But the Tree of Eternity is taking a lot of damage and will need to be repaired. And Knicker staffing in one bear to just take it out. Obviously that's the best thing to staff in, just because you can't obviously staff in your hero. And so the next best thing is that. And so more siege engines actually coming in here. There's not too much for them. Obviously there's a whole bunch of moonwalls and stuff for them to kill, but there's no expansion or anything to kill it, because obviously this Tree of Eternity has been walked over. And so I think it might have been better spent just sending it into actually I guess it's pretty hard to send it in here. I guess that's probably the best place to send it in the end. Just take out a bunch of moonwells and then I'm trying to run them away. But Knicker does respond to this. He does have a level 9 Dark Ranger now, still only level 1 Mountain King though, so quite a contrast there. And Cass is playing it smart of splitting up his siege engines, so it's gonna be pretty tricky for him to focus down these for Knicker to focus down all the units. But it looks like he will manage to get rid of at least most of these siege engines. And very nice use of a mass teleport here, and actually very nice use of Blizzard as well. Managed to take down these towers with only having to tank one guard tower's damage. And obviously cannon tower is really expensive. You don't want to lose them if you don't have to. And Knicker probably should just TP in, although I'm not sure what his long-term plan would be here. And actually getting a bit of a bad Blizzard there, taking damage from the cannon towers now, which obviously you don't really want to do, but not the end of the world. You probably should set up these ivory towers as well. You could just set them up here or something, so they could attack in the future. And meanwhile, Dark Ranger just is in just sort of taking out a couple units. He does have another tower going up. He could put another cannon tower up. That would be pretty nice. And now that he has cannon towers up in his this sort of expansion number 2, that should, you just watch how they sort of will destroy these tanks. You can see when they're within range, they just get destroyed so quickly. And it's a pretty nice defense here from Knicker in terms of just sort of blocking off his tree from any sort of attack. And meanwhile, all these towers have now gone down, and Cass will be able just to have free reign over this base. He'll probably go for a Blizzard here, and then goes for Clap as well. And all these peons or peasants will go down really quickly now. And this last one will go down. And this is a bit of a loss for Knicker. He does now decide to TP, and it's a bit late, obviously, but not the end of the world. And he doesn't actually get a brilliant TP in there, but it's not the end of the world. And meanwhile, dots are actually adept training. I'm a bit surprised about that. Maybe you should go for master training to try and get Cyclone, because obviously Cyclone is so effective. And these towers being put up again by some more militia, by some more peasants. And one actually is allowed to go up. You probably should have just cancelled them, but I guess it's nice to force the bears to fight somewhere so that you can just hit them with the Archmage. And I actually think Master Dots would actually not be the end of the world at this point. I think they could work quite well. Obviously you might want to take off Fairy Fire off autocast if Spellbreakers come out, but it would still be quite nice to take out the Spellbreakers. And a lot of flying machines now being built, and I wonder if the same thing's happening. Yeah, the same thing's happening at the other base. So I guess he's decided in response to these cannon towers that the next best thing to go for is just lots of sort of a different type of lane playing, going for gyros, and tanks being brought in sort of every which direction, and actually losing his first flying machine. I'm not sure if it's first, but it's certainly one of his first flying machines. And this mine only has about a minute's worth of gold left in it as well, so Cass might soon be short on economy, although he might just decide to fight here. And he has put up these towers here, so maybe he will be going for an expansion later, but he will need to be wary, especially considering that Knicker will have scouted these towers. And one tank just going around this sort of first expansion area and just taking out all the last buildings. That's pretty nice for him. There's still a Mansion of Wonders here if he scouts it, although Knicker probably should just uproot it and then try and run it somewhere secretive. And meanwhile, a couple towers here now, one cannon tower gone up and another one's being built, and actually they've taken down the expansions. That's pretty nice for them. And bomb research has been completed, but obviously it just does so little damage, especially to the guard tower. Actually, it would do more damage to the cannon tower because of armor types, but these flying machines will go down really quickly. And these cannon towers are now just going to be able to sort of wreak havoc on the arcane towers just by attacking ground, because obviously they don't even have the range. Arcane towers have 800 range, as do cannon towers, but obviously with attack ground you can get a bit extra range out of them, not at full damage, but still some damage. And obviously with towers it doesn't matter too much how long it takes. And you can see these siege engines getting taken out so quickly now by these cannon towers, and really this is sort of almost a waste, but just sort of he has nothing really better to do with them. And he does manage to TP his heroes in, but with these couple towers around, this could be pretty bad. And it looks like he might actually get a fair bit of damage here, because he has managed to use Blizzard to take out all the wisps. And meanwhile he's getting his flying machines to take out the Tree of Eternity, which is still at 1,000 hit points and being repaired by a couple wisps. But it looks like it will manage to stay up, because these ancients have come around, as well as the guard towers have just been slowly picking off some of the units, and Nicker is now coming in with his army as well. And he doesn't actually manage to get a bolt off before he is bolted himself, which is a bit of a shame, because he could have gotten maybe some sort of surrounded force staff at very least. But obviously it's pretty hard to kill those units at this point. And 3 guard towers now going up, taking out the workshop and the blacksmith. And that's going to be pretty bad for Nicker, because if he wants to build any more cannon towers, although I can't imagine he will, because he doesn't really have anywhere to build them at this point. But some nice micro there by oh, actually very low Mountain King now does go down. I was just gonna say it was looking pretty nice, but I think he might have not been on staff cooldown, or not had a holy light or something. But he will lose 1 bear now, and he might lose this dot as well. And but buys back his Mountain King as well. Obviously this is quite smart, because especially when you have a high level Archmage, because you get your mana back so quickly, and it's just a health matter. And when you have a Paladin as well, you can heal that. You can heal it up pretty quickly. And Mountain King now coming back for Nicker, and we'll probably try and go for a bolt, but he just doesn't have the speed to catch up at this point. And Nicker obviously only minding off 1 mine at this point, but actually continuing to attack ground with these cannon towers. Obviously he